Okay, so I just want to say this. Okay, this video is about people who don't believe in the secret transgender agenda or don't believe what I'm trying to say. First of all, it's like what I'm saying, and it's a lot of other people that have exposed these different ways. They'll talk about like the different body shapes and stuff like that, because there are actually in this world some women who actually have a masculine look, but at the end of the day, you can still tell it's a woman. A man will always look awkward if it's a man. A woman, if she's portraying a woman, will always look awkward if she's playing the opposite gender. So I just want to say this. A lot of people is the transgender agenda is very hard for a lot of people to try to kind of comprehend or whatever, because a lot of people are so focused on their blood sacrifice thing, and that's it. And to a certain extent, I do believe that that's true, but I do believe that a lot of that was a cover up to cover up the secret agenda, because if we're so focused on you have to sacrifice the loved one in order to remain famous, we won't even think that it has to be even in your bloodline to even for your parents even transgender you. They sacrifice their own gender to Satan. That's what gives them riches and stuff and what pleases their God. And then for them to transgender their agenda, it's just, when you talk about that, it's kind of like it's just too far out there for people to believe. And that's why they do it. Satan likes to do stuff to make it too unbelievable for people even to like process that in their mind. So I know that when people first look at it, they may have questions or comments. So how do you know this? You ain't never seen blah 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 blah. I know deception. First of all, I know how to read liars very well. I'm an empath. All empaths have their gift. Once an empath comes into the realization of who they really are, then they know that they have a gift for detecting liars. All empaths. Hyokas and other types of different MCAPs, we all had that same gift. So we know liars, we know deception. Well, I told you guys before, once I realize and see that somebody's lying about their gender, I go back and look at everything and question everything. But what pisses me off is this. If you don't believe, and I just erased a couple of my videos before because I looked at a video online by somebody that I respect, and they were saying don't put your personal business about stuff that you went through online or whatever. And I understand it, because everybody not looking at my page to be like, hey, I identify with that, I went through that too. Some people may be looking at my page and be like, how can I get over on her or whatever. I have a lot of narcissists that watch me too, along with other people that are just going through the same thing and maybe want to learn, other people that want to see my growth, or other people who want to know truth. So I looked at that, I was like, oh, let me write some videos. But some videos I wish I wouldn't erase, because I write some videos not where I'm checking people, where I'm just saying, if you think my whole page is a joke, because you said the entire page is a joke, the whole page or whatever, that means you went and looked at all my posts, or you either been watching all my posts, not seeing nothing this whole time, and just wrote a comment, the whole page is a joke, or either you're a new person and just wrote the whole page is a joke. If you think the whole page is a joke, then don't watch it no more and keep that comment to yourself. Like, that's disrespectful. That's like somebody having a haircut on social media that I don't like. And I'm like, why would you get the haircut? You look like a freaking clown. Like, do y'all think before y'all say stuff? If I write a comment on somebody's page or whatever, I don't do that. I recently did that to this girl who I thought was very disrespectful. She's one of Kevin Samuel's supporters. And I wrote that comment. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to do that or whatever. I said, let me take it down. As soon as I did that, I got a silly guy named Infotech. Days later, they wrote a comment. I don't know who it was, but wrote a comment on my page. Anonymous person wrote a comment on my page talking about I'm delusional and stuff like this. So I'm very aware that what you put out, you get back. It is what it is, whatever. But going back to what I'm saying or whatever, I'm not finna write no comment on somebody's page that ain't online clowning somebody else, that ain't online just, and really when y'all may think that, let me pause for a second. Y'all may think that to a certain extent I'm clowning my exes and stuff like that, but if you only knew what they did, I didn't go into details of every full-out thing that they did, and part of that now is because I'm getting over it, and then I had a little bit of empathy for them because they have children, and I just don't want to rip somebody somebody completely to shreds or whatever, like I could or whatever, because I was lied on, I was gang stalked by both of them and their people and stuff like that, and I actually looked out for these people tremendously and went over and beyond. So that's another thing. Like, you can say what you want about that, but if you don't know my story, if you didn't live what I lived through, then it is what it is. You really don't have a comment about that. But get back to what I'm saying about the post about exposing stuff. If you don't believe it, everybody not gonna believe it. But if you don't believe it, you have to ask yourself, are you watching it? Are you watching it to be entertained or to be messy? Are you watching it to be nosy? Are you watching it to learn? Or are you just watching just to hate because you don't have the knowledge? Or are you watching because you don't believe it? I mean, fit yourself in the category. If you watching because you don't believe it, then that makes you crazy to watch something that you don't believe. It's like you watching just to hate and say that's not true. Okay, the next post, that's not true. That's a joke too. Y'all, it's like your time could be better spent watching something else. Stay lost in the matrix, even if you don't think you're lost in the matrix. That's why I feel. So you should just stay in the matrix. Let me say it in a nicer way and calm down. If you think the page is a joke, it would be best to find something else that you don't think is a joke. If you're watching the page to be nosy, just be nosy, but don't make no comment on my stuff about it or whatever. Just watch to be nosy and hate and see what she talking about next or whatever. But then you have to think about what type of mental level that you're on, and your focus should be better on something else. You should start a Facebook page. Share some stuff, share your testimony. What are you doing to give back to God? Or whatever, for him blessing your life, or even if he hasn't blessed you, what are you doing to lessen your karma? What are you doing for society? So it's kind of like, I don't really even really wanted to respond to that, but just the fact that it was the first hateful comment. That's the first hateful comment on my Facebook page. I had one before on my YouTube page last month that I checked. Not checked, but I kind of like told the guy how I felt. But that was just nonsense. And then, really, why would you even write that from I'm trying to picture myself making a fake profile page. Like, literally, you have to sign up, put your name, do all that stuff. And just to write that, and then I know you have another page, a regular page. So why when you coming from your regular page? That's what I'm saying. People be doing some really immature stuff. Those are the type of people that I don't want watching me. But it's like you can't help because it's a public page. So it's like that's one of the hard things about being on social media and having a public page. Is like, that's why when I first started, I said I wanted to put my comments on private, because it's certain people with a certain intellectual intelligence level that I don't want watching me or whatever. But it's like, y'all gotta watch, and that goes along with gang stalkers too. It's like, I'm not saying you're a gang stalker, but it's just like people who are on that level would think like that. They'll never understand what I'm putting on my page, because anybody that understands and can vibe with what I put on my page will kind of like know that I'm talking about spiritual stuff and spiritual warfare. So they would know the gang stalking is just not even acceptable in God's eyes, or hateful comments like that. And look at what I'm writing. Look at what you comment on. It's like, you probably would, the type of person, I don't know if it's a girl or a guy, but the type of person where somebody on your Facebook friend list or something, put a picture up of a girl with a big old butt and just be, oh yeah, that looks good. Like, that's the type of stuff you like. People hate on real stuff, but then glorify foolishness. That's what irritates me. Like, you need to write on Kevin Samuel page and say that's a joke. To me, that's a joke. Or whatever. You gonna write something where I'm exposing stuff? Like I'm saying, it's like, I don't care if nobody comments at all. I don't care if people think it's a joke, whatever. But my thing is, just respect my page and please keep that to yourself. A YouTube channel too. It's like, just comment in a way that you want somebody to comment in your stuff. Do you want somebody to write on your Facebook page from an anonymous account something silly like that, or one of your friends to write something where the whole world can see it? And it's not about being embarrassment. It's about, I'm sorry, it's not about being embarrassed, but it's about respect. So that's all I had to say. I just had to make this video because I can't sleep, and I was just scrolling and I looked. That's it. I got a comment, so I wanted to see what it was. And number two, I was like, I didn't know people could comment on there. I knew they could comment on my YouTube channel, but I didn't know people could comment on their Facebook page. So I saw that. I was like, let me see. Because I seen people, when people press like or something, I don't care about that. But the comment, I just wanted to see what it was. And it said this entire page is a joke. or whatever. And I just couldn't believe that. Well, I can believe it because I know it's silly people out there, but I just wasn't expecting it because nobody had ever did it since I started my page. But it is what it is. I fixed it. I put it back on private, which is a shame because I am interested in what viewers have to say, but in a respectful way. Like, even if you didn't agree, or you're like, I don't think they boys because this and that, or I seen this, and then I would explain it in a different way from what I see or what I know. But just to say the whole thing is a joke, it's like you're the joke for even writing it. You're the joke for even looking at my page and writing it. So it is what it is. I just had to make this video.